Hey everybody, I am Tawana Blassingame. I am the CEO and editor-in-chief of Queen Size Magazine. I am here with our friend Dominic Barba, the
Hello,
big and
everyone.
tall model out in California. So we're just gonna chat it up, find out how Dominic is doing, and see what advice he can offer during this crazy pandemic. I hate saying the word pandemic, but it is what it is. This is where we are.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, California, how are you guys doing out there in California?
It's weird. It's definitely weird, especially going 100 miles a minute every single day to having to sit in your room all day and just trying to be busy. It's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough. You go a little stir crazy. But you know what? Like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Um, this is not something to play around with. I'd rather stay inside for a couple months than be sick for a long-term time. So,
right, right.
yeah.
Do you know anybody personally who have been?
I don't, thankfully, thank God. I have not. So fingers
Unfortunately, I
crossed, keep it
do.
that way.
Yeah,
You do?
yeah. Unfortunately, I do. I know some people who have
I
passed.
don't know.
So it's kind of crazy.
I don't know.
And the same with us out here in New York. It's the same thing. It's like everything is just like we're so busy, always on the go. It's the city that never sleeps.
How are the subways there?
Ugh,
Are people still riding the subways and stuff?
people are still riding the subways, yes, but not as much. Subway
Yeah.
system is still going, but I don't take the train. I haven't taken the subway in years.
Okay.
But I do see
Yeah.
people posting online about the subways, and they take pictures in the car all by themselves. Even the flights, I see people still taking flights out of whole plane to themselves. you know,
Yeah. Hey,
but
if you want to travel, this is the cheapest way to do it right now.
right.
The pandemic prices.
Yes, that is the truth. As long as you are very careful.
Yeah, exactly.
So you are one of seven children,
Yes.
right?
Six, because I'm the sixth one.
You're the sixth.
So, yeah, so I have five brothers. Actually, no, yeah, I'm one of six. So, four on my dad's side, two on my mom's side, and then I have a stepsister. So yeah, it's a big family tree. It's very complicated, but I love it. I've had two Christmases and two birthdays my whole life growing up,
Wow.
and yeah, so I love having a big family. I think it's really helped me in my entertainment career. Is I can talk from all types of people because that's how my family is. All types of people from the high school diploma to the master's degree, all the way up in between. And so my goal is to be the funniest guy in my family, and so I think that's helped me out in my career.
So you played football at one
I
point
did
growing up. College football. Tell us about it.
football. Yeah, so that was my first love, my first passion in life was football and sports. I played for about 12 years, my whole life.
Wow.
All my brothers played. My oldest brother Willie, he's a head coach in my old high school, and I actually lived with him in high school, so I can learn under him and be coached under him. And then I played at a small school in Wichita, Kansas, where I played D tackle. Was a big boy out there, and had a good career. Broke my ankle my senior year, and kind of made me realize football was just a game. It's a great game, and you learn a lot as a man, as a person. But at the end of the day, it's just a game, and you can't let it control your life. And I think I'm much more than just a football game. So that's when I kind of got into entertainment. It was a blessing in disguise. It was the worst
Yeah.
thing in my life to happen at the time, but it actually opened up the door to my true dreams and passions. Everything works out for a reason.
So I'm scared to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Favorite team?
Kansas City Chiefs, baby. Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. Okay, I know it's my whole family are Raiders and Niner fans, and I am the most one in the family right now. So
I'm a
you
Niners
know,
fan, so go figure.
how'd that happen? Don't tell me
I know.
Garoppolo. Don't tell me Garoppolo.
No, actually, no. The funny story about this is that I used to watch sports growing up, right? But I was never really heavy into sports. And, growing up, my family was New York, New York, New York, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I watched the sports with them, the football, the baseball, tennis. And, we rooted for New York. But when it came time to picking teams, right? Because, my friends say like, you can't just root for everybody. You have to pick a team, pick a side, man.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about it is, and this might be the most girliest thing to say, but I chose my team based on the colors because when your team, you have to rock your team's gear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can see myself in the red and gold. And that's why I went with San Francisco.
I'm not gonna lie, they got some pretty uniforms. The young Niners have some pretty good looking uniforms.
Yeah, and that's how
a little bit off, and the gold's a little bit too metallic. It needs to be more yellow,
right.
yellow and red.
Right.
A little more Chiefs colors. Maybe it would look a lot better.
So this is like probably 10 years in now.
Oh, awesome! So okay, not a bandwagon. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. And let's be fair, I was not a Chiefs fan until I was a Chiefs fan before Mahomes was there. Okay, I was a Chiefs fan in 2015. My first game was when I went to school in Kansas. Was a Chiefs game, and it was the best experience of my life. And ever since then, I've been a diehard. I've been to 3 Chiefs games since then, so I've been in person. I know how it is. I'm part of Chiefs Kingdom.
All right. What are the chances that you'll be a Chiefs fan? But
yeah.
This definitely wasn't a setup.
I love it. I love finally having a team. It's so I've always been kind of like you. I always rooted against the Niners or Raiders because they weren't my teams. But now that I have a team, it's fun. It makes football a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, it does. So before we get into modeling, we're going to talk about you also do comedy and you also are an actor.
Yes.
Now, how did you go down those roads?
Well, so when I first went to LA, I was not into acting or entertainment at all. I had a corporate job. I just wanted to move to a city. That was fun. I wanted to live in Santa Monica since I was a kid, and I wanted to train at Gold's in Venice. That was one of my dreams growing up as a kid. And so I found a really nice job. I was doing sales at a digital marketing agency right in downtown Santa Monica. I was riding my bike to work every single day. It was a dog-friendly environment. It was a great place to work. But one day I woke up and what happened was the week before we were won best place to work in LA. And that kind of hit me hard because I was like, this is the best place to work in LA. And I still don't love what I do, And one day I woke up and I was like, man, I just can't do this anymore. And so literally the next week I quit my job and went to acting school, started Ubering full time. And then I had a contest with the Winston Box about a month later. They were looking for a big and tall model, doing a model search. And so I did it out of a whim. Went to the warehouse, met Will and Amit, who are my guys. Those guys have been by me since day one. And they loved my look and they made me the model of the year. And to this day, I've been working with them ever since.
Congrats.
I'm fortunate enough to be. Thank you. It's a blessing. I love those guys are awesome. Like I said, they were with me since day one. They believed in me since right off top. They were fortunate enough to sponsor me and give me clothes so I could make content and work on my photography and work on my modeling. And 2 years later, I'm signed, and they've been there supporting me every step of the way. So I want to give a big shout out to Will and Dit. And if you guys haven't checked the Winston Box, try them. They're awesome. Great guys, great families, and they're really doing it because they are big guys themselves and they love what they do and they want to bring fashion to affordability to big guys.
I've definitely heard some great things about Winston Box. So shout out to them guys. So comedy. What kind of comedy do you? Stand up?
Yeah, so I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm gonna get more into that once all this is done. But I'm an improviser. I am a long-form improviser. So you guys may have seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? That short-form improv.
One of my favorites.
That's where I kind of fell in love with improv a little bit. But that's more like 15 to 20-second scenes. This is you get one word suggestion, and the 30 minutes, an hour-long scene off of that, and it's
wow.
I started taking improv just to kind of learn how to act better and be out of my head and be in this moment more. And I'll never forget when I finally clicked and our scenes were just so funny and so flowing, electric, and I fell in love with it. And ever since then, I've been taking classes at Upright Citizens Brigade over here in LA. A there's 4 classes you got to take before you're able to audition for the house team. And I did 3 of the 4 so far. So I got 1 more class to go. And then I'm going to try and audition for the house team and see if I can perform every week and work my
Wow.
craft. And yeah, so improv is so fun. I used to be so bad at improv for the longest time. And like I said, it just clicked one day. And, now my dream is to do comedy. Comedy's like Chris Farley, Jonah Hill, those guys are my favorite guys. And if I could have a career like that one day, why not?
So, acting. What have you done so far? Anything that we know of yet?
Nothing major yet. It's coming. I feel like I'm so close, but so far from that next level of my career where I'm gonna be on like Netflix and major networks and things like that. It's a process, It doesn't happen overnight, but I've done a lot of good things so far on my own. I've done about 10 commercials I've booked in the last 2 years. I've done a short film. I worked with College Humor. I did a sketch for them. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely worked with big brands like Bonobos and Nike and Ford. I've done commercials for them. A couple of them haven't been released, been edited out of some, but that's the business. That is what it is. You still get paid
Yeah.
regardless with your
Right,
cast support.
exactly.
Yeah. But my biggest thing that I've probably done right now is my short film, Trust Issues. It's
Trust
won over
issue.
like 60 awards worldwide. It's a modern day Western, kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde modern day. And I play a sheriff, and it's just a really good story. It's about 16 minutes long. And, I've got a lot of accolades and awards off that. And so it was a fun one-day project. And, I got to see myself on the big screen for the first time. And it was a good experience. I think that's been my biggest project so far.
Did you cry when you saw yourself on the big screen?
I didn't cry. I felt proud. I felt proud of myself, because when I started this journey, I knew nothing about anything. I taught everything myself and my relationships myself, and it was just really cool to see one of my dreams of being on the big screen happen to life. Now the next step's being in a major blockbuster film on the big screen, and then after that, being lead in a blockbuster. It all takes small steps. I told myself when I got in this industry, especially acting, it's going to take about 10 years to really establish myself in this career.
Right.
And so unless you really understand that concept, it's going to be a really hard lifestyle to get in. So,
Yep.
like I said, this industry has a really good way of weeding out people that like what they do and love what they do.
That is so true. Where can we see Trust Issues?
Right now, it's on the film circuits. It's still doing its rounds in the competitions and contests. And so I think this summer they're gonna try and post it on Amazon Prime. So when I get more details on that, I'm gonna ask my director and see what the platforms are. But I'll definitely be posting about it, and I'm proud of this one. So if I can get people to see it, I'm definitely will.
That'd be dope. I want to see it. So let's talk a little bit about modeling.
Okay.
So you are also a signs model, which is a huge deal for someone who just started in 2018, right?
Yeah. February 2018 is when I did my first modeling.
That is a huge deal. Tell us about your agency.
Yeah, so I was signed with Bridge Models. They're based in London and New York. They have a really big establishment in the UK, and they're coming over to the States and growing their industry out here. And I thought it'd be a great fit to grow with them, and my agency is awesome. I was really picking agencies. I really want to feel like a family, and my agent Marion has really been there to guide me along the way and really help me establish myself in my professional career. I would say for the last 2 years I was kind of an amateur big and tall model, and now it's taking that step into the professional world and working with major brands and learning how to build my brand. And, it's a lot more things that I didn't know I had to do, and so I'm really blessed to have an agency with Bridge that really guide me along the way. And it's like they want to see good for me, and that's all you can ask for representatives. It's really have them help you
Shout
grow
out
and
to
see the
Bridge
best.
Agency. I definitely agree. From the communication that I have had with them so far, they definitely it's not hard to sell that they do have your best interest at heart, because she made sure that I had everything that I need.
Yeah,
So that
that's how she is. She's very thorough, and
yeah.
she making me be more thorough. That's my biggest thing. I kind of look up. I gotta go so fast. I kind of skip some steps. She's like, slow down. Gotta get this done. Gotta get this done. Gotta get this done, and maybe I can like start giving you some more stuff. So they do a good job of putting me in my place, which is a good thing. I need that sometimes.
Good for you, because that is important. I know
Yeah.
quite a few people who have signed with agencies who, you know, are not as, I don't want to use the word lucky, but not as blessed. So
Yeah.
it is good to find the right agency for you. You know what I mean? So
That's a big thing
congrats.
too. So anybody looking to get an agency, don't just sign with anybody that offers. Really ask some good questions. Have a conversation with them. Figure out where they want to take you in your career, where you want to go in your career, if it's a good fit. I could have signed with smaller agencies a long time ago, but I just didn't think it was a good fit. So
Right.
some advice I want to give to people that are trying to get in this industry is really be picky with who you represent, because when you sign that contract, you're signed with that contract whether you like it or not. So you got to better make sure you like who you work with.
Locked in. And definitely with the contracts, I definitely tell people all the time, make sure if you don't understand contracts, make sure you get a lawyer. Don't sign your life
Yeah,
away.
seriously.
So we allowed people to submit questions.
Oh, great.
Yeah, this is the fun part.
Let's do
So
it. Let's
I'm
do
just
it.
going to read, I picked 5 that I'm going to read off for you, and you can go ahead and ask them. If anybody else viewing this now has more questions than the ones that I'm about to ask, feel free to write your questions down. We'll go back later on and, you know, respond to your questions, Dominic, as well. So the first question, which was the most popular question, is, are you single and available?
I knew that was coming. Single? Yes, I am single. Available? Unfortunately, not right now in my life. I have a lot to grow still in my career and spiritually, mentally. I think I'm not quite ready yet. Once my career gets to a certain platform where I can feel like I'm comfortable at a certain base, then I'd be more open to dating. But right now, I'm living life. I love what I do, and I don't necessarily need a relationship right now. I just if it happens, it happens. But I'm not looking. Um, I'm just kind of living my passions, and I'm thinking, living your passions, you'll find the right one doing that. So hopefully that's how it works.
That is a very mature answer.
I'm lucky. I have older brothers. Okay, so they've done all the they've had all the trials and errors. I've seen them go through it. So you know, I'm lucky to have them. They're excellent fathers and husbands now. And you know, that's if I were going to do that, I want to be just as good as a father and husband one day. So I want to pick the right one.
And you're the youngest, right?
Youngest, yes. I'm the
You're the
baby.
baby.
That's why I need all the attention. Okay.
I'm the youngest of only 2. There's only 2 of us, me and my sister. So I'm the youngest, not by much.
It still counts.
Yeah, it does. It still counts.
Yeah.
So the next question, as a male model, would you date a model as well?
Definitely. I think be very open to dating someone else in the industry, whether it be acting or modeling, just because this lifestyle is so hard. A lot of people that have everyday normal jobs, quote unquote, they don't understand the stresses we go through, our scheduling, even our self-care. I mean, self-care for being on screen all the time. You got to do your skin routines, your hair routines. For me, my beard routines. You know, it's just, it takes a lot, and people don't understand that unless they're in the industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely be open to dating another model.
All right, you guys, you heard it here first. Stay tuned, but not yet. He's not ready yet. Okay, the next question is, if you could change one thing about the fashion industry for men, what would it be?
I would think, for me, 2 things. One, high fashion. I think big guys need to be in high fashion a lot more. Um, to pretty much not include a whole society that is pretty much running the world now, especially in the U.S. Over 60% of men in the U.S. have a size 40 and above waist, and then they're not getting the love in high fashion. I think it's a huge market that missing out for money, revenue-wise, 1,
Right.
and 2, for marketing, you know? But also, I think sex appeal for big guys. I think it's not there, like it is for the plus women. I think men can just be just as sexy as straight models with abs. I think that the perception of sex sells is still kind of behind, and I think sexuality is normal and natural. And I'm not saying take nudes and post it everywhere, but I'm saying bring some confidence and sex appeal and
Right.
style into your photography instead of that boy next door, the funny guy, or the, the neighborhood dad look.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to really establish ourselves like the plus women have, and it's an exciting time. I think it's coming. I think it's sooner than later.
Speaking of nude, next question.
Oh, great.
Have you ever modeled naked? It's a three-part question. Why or why not? And if you have, where can we find these pictures?
Good question. I have not modeled nude yet. I've been offered a couple of times. I am just not comfortable enough in my career to do it yet. 'Cause there's a lot of brands I work with that I think would hinder me from working with them.
Mm,
Am I against it? Not necessarily. Do I want to? Not necessarily. But if the right situation comes along, if it's for like a great project or a great photographer that has a good vision, I'm an artist, so if I think it'll be beneficial to me, my career, and the plus community, I'm all for it. If I have to be the guy to get nude on camera to excel excel the plus community, then hey, that's my sacrifice. But I'm not looking for anything right now. But like I said, I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but not necessarily looking for it either.
Dominic, I'm sure there are tons of people that would love to see you nude.
Maybe one day we'll get the rule that.
um, and this question came from another male model, I should say. Not that the naked question came from a male, but I am a male trying to break into the modeling industry, but I feel like my success is based on my popularity. Would you agree, and what advice can you offer to help me with that problem?
Popularity does have to do some with branding because you are a brand. You understand these brands are picking guys that have a lot of followers or big following because it's free marketing.
Right.
It's more cost effective for them to have someone with 10,000 followers than someone with 500 followers. But that's not always the case. Some brands may look for that, but I think a lot of brands too, they want to see your progress as a model. Are you actually a good model? Do you have a portfolio to show that you're a good model?
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you just got to keep practicing. It took me
Right.
2 years to sign to a good agency because I had to build my portfolio. I had to find a photographer. I had to run studios. I had to put together pieces. I was blessed enough to have a sponsorship by Winston Box to get free clothes and create new content every single month. But you could do that yourself with your own type of items or own type of looks you want to do.
Right.
Best way I would say is to create a mood board of a lot of guys that you look up to in the industry that you think you could have a look that is similar to them, and take their best pictures and try to mimic them and see if you can do the same type of facial expressions or the same type of poses or same type of outfits, and show that you belong. One thing I will say though, do not cheap out on quality of your camera. When I was newer, I took a lot of phone and low end camera pictures, which
Mm-hmm.
is fine. I mean, content is content, but when I started getting a real photographer and started networking and getting real pictures, um, I just think it's hard to not take someone seriously who's making great content,
Right.
actually, and building their career.
That is true. One of the things that I will say, definitely quality over quantity. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That is definitely important. I was about
But
to
I
ask
think
you
too,
something else too. Go ahead.
even if it's a bad quality picture, work on your editing skills. Make that bad quality picture a cool picture. Make it like a high edit. Make it black and white. Because when I first started, I had my roommate who knew nothing about a camera take my pictures. The ISO was all off and things like that, but it made me a better editor because I had to try and figure out how to fix the lighting, how to make this picture that's not necessarily a great picture into something I can use. And so there's ways to work around that, but more than anything, just make content. Whether it's good or
Right.
bad, just keep making it and keep growing.
That's great advice. And viewer, I hope that answered your question. One of the questions that I have for myself is, as a model, with everything just kind of like at a halt, what are some of the things that people can do to remain relevant?
I would say if you could take pictures with a friend if you can. I don't have access to that right now, so I've been lucky enough where I have pictures. I did a photo shoot right before this whole thing went down, where I have some stuff I could post and be a little relevant here and there. But I'm running out quickly, that's for sure. But some things you can do that is not just taking pictures, is like figure out something to look up to and figure out how they did it in their career. What was their path? What jobs did they book? What brands do you like? How can you style yourself to be that type of brand? Look, there's a lot of things you could do that doesn't actually involve taking pictures. Is creating a strategy for yourself in your career, creating a 2-year plan for yourself, a 1-year plan, is giving yourself goals, and working on everything besides on camera. There's a lot of things you can do off camera.
Right. So I remember what I was going to say, when you was talking about, kind of looking at other images and kind of mimicking them. One of the things that I would say is definitely get some magazines and, rip out some pages from magazines of, things that inspire you, that you can, recreate for yourself. I think that it saves a lot of time than having to, work from scratch. If you're not that creative and, you don't have a creative team, you get some inspiration from, these other magazines. I think that is very important, and I think that's very helpful. And another thing is, you mentioned the portfolio, which I noticed that a lot of people still don't have. And guys, if you're listening to this, I need you guys start building your portfolios. Build your portfolios. And one more thing is, and I have been very vocal about this, as far as, your imagery is concerned. When you take your images, a lot of people, they do photo shoots, and next day, all the images are online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you got to kind of like treat it like money. Save some for a rainy day. Like now,
exactly.
People should be going into those archives and saying, hey, I never posted this image before. Let me bring some of these other images out. So, some advice that, we want to offer in times like this, because, people are just sitting around like, what do I do? You know what I mean? So definitely, Dominic, make sure you leave everybody with your social media channels, any website that you have, and any final advice that you want to offer people.
So let's start my Instagram. My Instagram is Domcrates. Let's clear that up. Everyone thinks it's Dom Crates. The reason my name behind Domcrates is I was really big into philosophy in college, and I thought it was so cool that people had lives where they were being followed and listened to by their thought process. And I think that's an incredible gift to have, is to have followers off of your thought process and create ideas and societal norms off of that. And so I think philosophy is such an incredible thing. And so my one goal is one day to be a modern day philosopher. So Socrates is one of the OGs, the main guys of philosophy. And so I thought, why not be Domcrates? That's how I got my name. But yeah, so clear that up. It's Domcrates, not Dom Crates. That's on Instagram. That's my number one platform. YouTube is YouTube, not really active on there. I need to be more active. I want to start doing more projects to be more active on YouTube and do more sketches and stuff. I did a lot of sketches like 2 years ago, and I kind of stopped because all my friends moved away, and I need to get back into it. That's what I love to do.
Yes.
So be looking for that coming up this summer. But another last advice, whether this is life advice, whether it's entertainment or anything you do, find what you do, find your passion and love it, and do it every single day. It sounds cliche, but if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and that's really how it is. And so I'm very fortunate enough to be able to do big and tall modeling and acting and do improv. And, it's a struggle. It's hard to try and support yourself and do all that at once, but there's going to become a day where it doesn't become hard anymore. And It becomes a part of you, and you're an expert at what you do. And you know, you just gotta take that leap. And so, anybody afraid to take that leap, jump. Because if you were scared in the past, look where you are now. You made it through. You got through it. So you always get through it. Don't ever forget that. So don't ever be afraid to take that leap and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else will? That's what it comes down to. So, yeah. So that's my biggest advice for anybody is love what you do and then let it kill you.
Best advice. What does that quote behind you say?
It's my daily reminder. Thoughts become things. So whatever you think, if you could think it, you can achieve it. If you couldn't think it, it wouldn't be possible. So don't ever think that your thoughts are the most powerful thing you have. So don't ever think that whether you think positive or negatively, both can happen. So don't ever forget that and realize you are a creator and your gift is to manifest and attract things that you want in life. And the only way by doing that is believing in yourself and truly believing that can happen. So thoughts become things. Don't forget that.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Dominic. This has been fun.
Yes. Whenever you have me back, let me know. This is awesome. This is
absolutely. Fun. Absolutely. And, you know, when everything calms down and the world opens back up, you know, get with a photographer and, you know, let's talk about a magazine feature.
Let's do it.
So
tell me twice.
So Dom Crades is
Socrates.
Dom Crades, DOMCRATES.
Got it.
I want to make sure everybody can find you on Instagram, and we'll definitely post the link when we publish the video as well. So thank you so much again, everybody. I am Tawana Blassingame, CEO and editor-in-chief of Queen Size Magazine. Dominic Barba, big and tall model. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you can still post your comments. You can post your questions, and we'll go back and respond to them. Dominic, make sure you stay safe. Keep washing your hands.
You too.
Wear your mask. Everybody, wash your hands, wear your mask. Be safe. And thanks again for tuning in. Bye-bye, everybody.
Everyone, be safe.